Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline with Nick Eatman.
What is up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. I didn't say Merry Christmas Adam yesterday, as my man Michael from Bowling Green pointed out. But it's Christmas Eve, and we're here with you. Look, beautiful music. Thank you, Chris, for throwing that out there. We could have this on the entire show if you want to, and I'll just talk like this the entire time. No, just kidding. But yeah, we're going to do this for the next 45 minutes. We'll see who's committed to the Cowboys storyline and who's got stuff to say here as we get ready for Christmas. Obviously, there will not be a show tomorrow, but that's our only day of the week that we will not have shows. We will pick it back up Thursday and Friday, and that makes me think that of all the days Christmas can be on, Wednesday, I'm finding out Wednesday seems like the worst. Because, I mean, usually any other day you can kind of piggyback it with, oh, you got this day off and then this day, but you put it right on a Wednesday, it's just like, all right, you get Wednesday off, everybody else, get back to work. But it's okay, though. It's all right, and we'll be back on Thursday for sure. But we're here today. Let's get this thing going. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. We got Gary in New Mexico. He's been holding. He starts us off. Gary, what's up, man?
Hey, Merry Christmas, Nick.
You too. How you doing?
You're right. Good, man. Those midweek holidays kind of throw everything off, don't they?
Yeah. And then, of course, next week, same thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, hey, good for y'all for being there, grinding it out, for showing up on Christmas Eve and take all of our calls, man. We appreciate all y'all do for us fans.
Well, thank you.
So that we have a voice, because my wife could not care less about this stuff. But so we got Philadelphia coming up. So I was trying to find a good trivia question for you that kind of ties into the Eagle game. So I think I've got one.
All right.
So it's we're in the next to last game of the season playing the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1981, the Cowboys and the Eagles played in the next to last game of the season for the NFC Eastern Division title. It was in that game that Tony Dorsett became the Cowboys' all-time leading rusher. Who did he surpass to get that title?
Oh, man, I would think, because he's in the Ring of Honor, I would think it'd be Don Perkins, but
you got it,
is
man.
It right?
You
okay.
got it.
I
yeah.
knew he didn't have a lot of stats.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was giving you too many easy questions with these 1980s games that you could just remember, so I had to go back in time to before when I was born. Back then in my dad's era and Don Perkins. And you pulled it up, man. Good job.
Hey,
the great Don Perkins.
Was that a home game, the Cowboys home game? 80?
Yeah, it was a home game, Week 15, 1981.
So what I thought you were going to throw out there was, do you know what happened in that game? Do you know what record was broken in that game?
In that 1981 game?
81 home game. Everson Walls broke Mel Renfro's record for interceptions in a season with 11. It was a deep pass.
Yes, he did. You're right.
Picked it off. And we did that documentary. It was one of my favorite documentary that we've done on Deep Blue. Is the 24/7 coverage with Walls and Trayvon Diggs. And when Trayvon Diggs broke or tied Walls' record, Walls was also there in the stadium, just like Mel Renfro was the day that Walls picked it off. That pass picked off Ron Jaworski there down the sideline. So it's kind of
those were. I was fourth grade in 1981, so that's I'm getting into being emotionally invested into that stuff by that time, and I love that 81 team with Michael Downs and Everson Walls and those free agents that came in. That was a good time. Trayvon Diggs, man, is kind of a heartbreaking story. I'm starting to kind of think he may be done for us, but I don't know. But I've got a question for you about the wide receiver room.
Okay.
And then I'll hang up and listen. But real quickly, just let me continue to praise CeeDee Lamb like I did last week.
Yeah.
We talk about his tough – that is – if you've never had a shoulder injury, that's a painful injury that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
And every time – kind of similar to what Emmett had, back in the day. Every time you get hit, it drives it into the – it's just excruciating pain. But the fact that, number one, that he's playing through it. Number two, that he's putting up the numbers that he's putting up while playing through it. And number three, and this is what's overlooked, he's doing that without a very good supporting cast.
Right.
He's doing all of this injured with a backup quarterback and hardly no running game. And it's just I just have so much respect for him as a player now, watching what he's done this year. I think he may be one of the guys where that big contract was worth it. He's earning every bit of it.
He sure is.
But what I want to ask you, and I'll hang up and listen, outside of CeeDee Lamb, how do you grade this wide receiver room? Because I kind of look at it as disappointing. I expected a lot more from Jalen Tolbert, and I don't know how much of that has to do with the players underachieving and how much of it has to do with just the offensive line being in flux and the backup quarterback. Just what are your thoughts on the wide receiver room outside of CeeDee Lamb?
All right. Thanks, Gary. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for the call. I'm going to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Every time that I say thanks for the call today, I'm just going to say it's a Merry Christmas. It's a blanket coverage for everyone there. Let's keep it rolling. That's a tough one. Jalen Tolbert, as soon as you start thinking, well, he hasn't had that great of a season, then he'll make a couple of plays here and there. And I don't know if that's what a number 2 receiver is supposed to do. It seems like you're supposed to have a little bit more production, consistent production. He's had moments. I mean, he's tied for the touchdown lead with 6 with CeeDee. So he's scored touchdowns. He scored the other night. Had a nice play the other night to get a first down when it looked like they were going to have to punt, and they actually went and scored a touchdown on that drive. So he's had some moments here and there, not as much as you would think. He's second in yards on the team and third in catches behind Ferguson, who's been out some too. I think you expected more from him. Brandon Cooks has been out, so it's been okay. It's been okay at receiver, but obviously you'd like something more there for your number 2 guy. All right, let's go to Irene in Falls Church, Virginia.
Good morning. Okay, I'm going to be a little playful today. So this will seem odd because if you have a favorite movie, you shouldn't have forgotten it. But since you have an official poll, I have to change my answer to A Christmas Carol and the original version. Although, like the Die Hard debate, could you say that A Christmas Carol is a Halloween movie with all the ghosts? I don't know. Anyway.
I saw Die Hard last night. Again, it were like the first 10, 15 minutes of it. And I'm on the fence of this isn't a Christmas movie. But, because Bruce Willis said so, right? But he does have a line that he asks his driver, do you have any Christmas music? I mean, he asked him that. So I was like, man, I don't know. I don't care. It's a good movie. It doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead.
There you go. All right. Well, since it's almost Christmas, I was looking at past Christmas Cowboys games. I did notice that all of them have been losses since you started covering the team, so that's a little sus. But anyway, outside of the sadness of those results, do you have any special Christmas game memories? I know you have Thanksgiving ones, so maybe you have some press box. I don't know. It could be meals, gifts, just moments. And that's it. Merry Christmas to you,
right.
Chris, Josh, all the storyliners.
Thank you so much. So I'm trying to think all the ones. Yep, I thought there was 3 that I could think of, and those are the 3 that are there. Waking up on Christmas morning in 2000 in Nashville, Tennessee, it's one thing when it's a Christmas game, but when it's Christmas on the road at night, like you're just you're there the night before. It's Christmas Eve. You go to bed, and I'm in Nashville. I'm young. I'm 24 years old or so. That was just kind of weird because I was still, kind of removed from home and just like, wow, but it was like the greatest hotel I've ever stayed at in Nashville. And so I guess it was like the Opryland. So that was like a city in itself. That was kind of cool to be there for that. And I do remember, and then there were some funny things that happened in that game on the sideline before the game that Chris and I had some fun with. We played a joke on our colleague there in a pregame show. We didn't. She thought we were started and we didn't, and it's kind of a funny story, but not really one for on air. And then the Arizona game in 2010. I mean, that was just like. It was like this season like this where it was like, okay, well, you're not going to win, but, you're not going to go to the playoffs. But Stephen McGee, I thought was going to lead them to a victory. And then I think was it David Beeler missed an extra point and ended up losing the game. Tough loss there. But it was one of those where it was a night game. But you just you're playing for pride at that point. But yeah, I mean, we haven't had too many Christmas Day games. That's what you look for now. And you have a family, you're like, all right, Christmas, are you at home at least? And if so, if not, then hopefully it's not too bad. And that's the one thing about a Wednesday, though. I will say that there's at least you're here. For it could be worse. It could be worse. So because you could have a Saturday Christmas or Sunday, and that's really bad there. So all right, let's go to Sebastian in Savannah, Georgia.
Good morning, and happy holidays, everyone. How you doing, Mr. Eamon?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. And I absolutely enjoyed that game. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people who are sitting here and they wanted the boys to tank and stuff like that, you play for the love of the game and for the enjoyment and for your fans. So if I was going to a game, I wouldn't want my team trying to tank. I want you to try to take it from the Buccaneers. Now, you put the Buccaneers in a bad situation where, like, Atlanta's right behind them and can pass them. That's who you're supposed to be. If you're not going to make it, try to spoil it for somebody else. And I love how the guys played on this past Sunday.
Yeah.
But I want to take it away from football for just a second because there's something that I never did when I caught in. My favorite Christmas movie is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey because it's absolutely hilarious. And my favorite wrestlers, I was actually a bigger fan of Macho Man Randy Savage than Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
But my absolute favorite wrestler is Sting. And then my second favorite wrestler is a guy who's lesser known named Scott Levi, a.k.a. The Raven. He had a cool quote. He'd be like, "What about me? What about Raven? Quote the Raven nevermore."
That's right.
I used to love that guy.
That's right.
But that's it, man. You guys have a great day. Enjoy it. Happy New Year's if I can't call you before then. And to Cowboys Nation, like Heckman Harrison says, I hope your team wins.
I got an autograph one time from a coach. It was an old basketball coach at Texas A&M. He was, I think it was Shelby Metcalf, and he signed my program at a basketball game, and he said, "Happy scoreboards," which doesn't matter who you are, who you're for. Just good luck to you on that. So I always remember that. Sting and Macho Man, those. Yeah, I mean, that's right there in my wheelhouse. My favorite story is when Sting showed up with us to do. He did some videos with us. He's like watching tape with Brian Broaddus there, and all makeup and a bat and everything, just watching tape with Broaddus. That was pretty funny. And then also, and he called Shannon Gross. I mean, we were sharing an office, and he said, "Listen to this voicemail." I was like, "Hey, Shannon, Steve Borden. Sting, just calling you back or whatever." So I was like, save that message forever. It's awesome. He's a really cool guy. All right. Well, I got my little poll here on the Christmas movies. It's a Wonderful Life. It's got the lead right now, but Grinch is coming in strong there with Darren Woodson. Remember, he said that as well. All right, let's go to Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Hey, Nick, my son would like to say something to you, if that's all right.
Sure. What's up, man?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Eatman, and Merry Christmas to your son, Jake the Snake, and all your family.
Thank you so much. Hey, what's your name?
That's
RJ.
RJ. What is up,
Are you a Cowboys
man?
fan?
Of course, I'm a Cowboys fan.
You have no choice, buddy. You have no choice. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Hope you get everything you want for Christmas. That's awesome. All righty. Well.
Hey, man, God, we watched that Bucs game. We whooped them, man. I mean, that score was not as close as it was.
Yeah, we did.
You hear him in the background?
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Really was impressed with Nick Vigil and the whole defense. And all those guys in the secondary and the linebackers that aren't playing a whole lot. Damone Clark looking all right. Everybody looking good.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas movie is The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Okay.
It's showing off my age because you remember that when you were a kid, I'm sure, too.
I think so, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Any of the Christmas carols, I like them for some reason. But RJ's is the Grinch. Hey, Nick, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all the storyliners out there. I could name them all, but I'll just say Merry Christmas. God bless you all, and we'll talk to you in a couple days, man. I hope you enjoy Christmas.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Robbie and his son, RJ. Calling in. That's pretty awesome. Hope he has everything that he wants for Christmas. All right, let's keep this thing going. Brian in Kansas City's next. Brian, what's up, bud?
Good morning, Mr. Eatman.
Hey, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Well, I had I heard, I think it was Irene that asked about, favorite Christmas memories. And mine, I think, is 95. I was at my grandparents' house, and, that's a long time ago. They're long since passed now, but watching Emmett break the record.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Arizona, 95. You're right.
Yeah, Christmas Day, 95. He breaks the touchdown record against Arizona, and that was, I was there. My whole family was there, and probably the happiest memory, a Cowboys related memory that I could think of, man. And for playing against Philly, I've got some hope, I think, in this game because I don't know if Hurts is going to play. It's always a toss-up with the concussion protocol. But I'll tell you what, without him, they looked completely beatable. Saquon Barkley had 100, whatever it was, a little over 100 yards in the first quarter. And when teams were able to play them differently,
right,
it was a totally different game. And they called their game differently because they didn't have the tush-push, I automatically get the 1 yard no matter what on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
So, just anything you have on that, Ellen, and I'm going with the Grinch on my Christmas movie, man.
That's awesome.
And anything you got on the game coming up this week,
okay.
And always beat the Eagles. I don't care about draft picks.
Nice.
All right. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Thank you for calling in, Brian. I'll say this about backup quarterbacks and when they come into the game, it's not always perfect for them, because you got to remember from a practice standpoint, they just don't get the reps. Usually and I don't know who's playing this week. I really don't know that, and I don't know if they're going to let the Cowboys know. It'll come out, of course, but if he is out, I mean, I would imagine that Kenny Pickett's going to get a lot of reps this week. And so, it might look different for the game plan and things like that with them knowing all week long who's going to play and if not. But and he started games. I mean, he's capable of winning, and they'll figure it out, just like the Cowboys have kind of figured it out. It took a little bit with Cooper Rush, and he's what I saw a stat. He's 9-4 as a starter, but 0-2 against the Eagles. So he's not defeated Philadelphia, and of course the first loss that he started this year. First game he started, they lost to Philly. So we'll see if he can turn that around. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know just yet what's happening there, unless they just come out and say he's ruled out. But I know for the Cowboys, it feels like that concussions are going 2 weeks now. It used to just be, one game if it was a short week. But the 2 times it's happened, I said this yesterday, it's been on a Monday night game, short week. So then I'm not, then obviously you're out. Or one way or another, it was a short week. And then so you knew that they weren't going to come back and play. But I don't know. Don't know if Hurts is going to play. Obviously, that changes things for them. All right, let's go to Rick in Webster, Massachusetts.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing? You too.
I'm all right. I just had something go down my throat. So, but like I say, it was my favorite Christmas movie is probably Home Alone.
Oh,
with a close second to Christmas Vacation and Die Hard.
Okay.
But favorite memories are just going to my aunt's house on Christmas. Every year, we would just have a food room. You just go and walk in. Hey, how you doing? Okay, the food's in the food room. Okay. And you go grab your dish and go sit down and watch TV.
Nice. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I'm here for the food, right? So.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. What do you think about this week's game?
Well, the Tampa game, I loved it. It was just like smash mouth football.
Yep.
They came out and just took it to Tampa Bay. Said, okay, you want to win? Come get us.
That's what it was. I'm watching some of the highlights now, and it was they just took it from them. I mean, they literally just took the ball away, took the game away. That's what you kind of want. I've been waiting on Deron Bland to make a play. He made a big one.
Yeah, it's, Jordan Lewis with a great game and that interception, and CeeDee Lamb persevering through. So except for the fourth quarter when I just understand he's hurt. So
yeah, for sure. So,
but all in all, good.
All right.
So,
all right.
Yeah, have a good.
All right, Rick. Have a good one. Merry Christmas to you. All right, let's go to Ronnie in New Jersey. Ronnie, what's up, man?
Nick, Merry Christmas, Nick.
You too. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's pretty good after that game. Chris, Nick, I was gonna say something about these last couple of games that we've had. I've seen a little bit of a difference in the way that they've been calling the plays. We've been more a little bit of a running team, and we wanted that all year, right? So thanks to the offensive line clicking a little bit more, a little bit better, we've been better at that. But with the wins that we had, and not to sound too much like the Grinch. Oh, by the way, A Christmas Story. I can't believe not so many people have been mentioning A Christmas Story, because that's got to be one of the best movies out there.
Christmas Story? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Every day. I mean, every year it's going to be on. I mean, that one for sure, is always on.
That is such a fun movie. So not to sound too much like the Grinch, but this coaching staff, the offense, the way they've been calling the plays, it seems like to be an improvement. But like we spoke about last week, there wasn't much there before in the way they called the plays and the way they it was like no rhythm. There was like, how they set up a play to get another play right after that. Well, I saw that this week, which I was like so annoyed and happy to see at the same time, because that number 9. Turpin, that Turpin play where he ran and he got like 10 yards, and then I think it was right after that, they did a little play action and finally threw the ball deep. It was like, wow, like they they're with the times, so at times it seems like we're there. So I'm kind of conflicted with the way they've called the plays. Yeah, we've played some bad teams, but they played better. With how this might be with the coaching staff, what are they going to do? Because I like. I don't know about you. I like our head coach McCarthy. I just like if the offense, if they had some type of better rhythm, better play calling, or maybe a different offensive coordinator, that might help. But with that, I hope we beat the Eagles, because that's my number one hated team. Not whether they're good. They could be good. They could suck. I really don't care. I hate them the most. So let's beat the Eagles. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, Chris. Nick and Chris.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I've been called worse. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well, Ronnie, I appreciate that. Thanks for the call, and I agree with just about all that. Play calling wise, it's there's been some questionable moments, and that's what we do. I mean, everybody questions the plays that don't work, So that happens a lot. Sometimes you question the plays that do work, but for the most part, I mean, that's kind of what this is. And then there's been some times where it hasn't worked. I will say, you have to factor in of just the different players that they're having to deal with and the injuries, and it's been in and out of the lineup is all these receivers and some of the backs were changing earlier in the year, and the offensive line keeps rotating. So you kind of have to play the cards that have been dealt, and that's one thing. So I think you have to factor that in when you're evaluating McCarthy and the play calling. But I mean, we've seen some head scratching moments this year, but I think for the most part, it's been okay. I factor that in a lot of what we've seen and the players he's had to play with, and all the changes he's had to make. All right, let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back here after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
To Cowboys Storyline.
This segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops concession and on Yeti.com. All right, let's back here on Cowboys Storyline. Let's get rolling to first-time caller. We got Josh in Corpus Christi, Texas. Josh, what is up, man?
Hey, how you doing, sir? Happy holidays.
You too.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Here we go.
I travel about 60 to 70,000 miles a year, so I'm always listening to the podcast. So
wow.
Keeps me up.
How are we traveling? Are we driving? Are we flying? Both?
Oh, we're always driving. I'm driving.
All right, man.
I travel a lot for work, so I'm always
miles.
listening to the podcast.
All right, you got the miles on those cars, vehicles. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what are you thinking, man?
So I had a question for you. Well, a couple questions. Who do you think, what position of need in free agency should we do this offseason? And what's your position you think they're going to take in the draft this offseason?
Okay.
And I'll hang up and listen.
All right, cool. All right, Josh, appreciate it. I always say, well, there's other dominoes that have to fall first. And some of it is their own free agents. You know, they got like 25 of these guys. So let's just say Osa. If they don't re-sign Osa, then I think defensive tackle's a really big, need for you because it's not great right now, and you've got to upgrade there. So one way or another, you got to get a defensive tackle or two or three or whatever. So that's why I say that if he doesn't come back, I think though. I still think this team needs some help at running back, and they have to re-sign Rico Dowdle if they want to re-sign him, but they don't have a running back under contract for next year, one that's played. So I think that's a big need is running back, and yes, fix the offensive line, that helps, but I still think even if Rico were to come back, I need a Tony Pollard type guy. I need that type of, quick running back, home run hitter, because he could pair up with another back. So that's that running back. What I think it needs to be addressed for sure. Now I don't know if that's a first round pick. Probably isn't, but maybe. I mean, if you're depends on where you're picking there, and you're probably going to be in. Looks like teens to late teens. These last two games will affect that, of course. But I just think you have so many needs that I always look for value. And in the first round, and I know Jerry does too. That's why the second round pick, he's always taking some guy that's got some kind of concerns, whether it be injury, character, both, whatever. But in the first round, if you take a guard, if you take a running back, if you take a tight end, I don't think they'll do that. But I'm just saying those are some of the positions that you can get some value in that they typically don't draft that high. Defensive tackle, you could throw that in there as well. So, all right, good stuff. Let's go to Randy in California is next. Randy.
Merry Christmas. How are you, Nick?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling better. Hey, that was an amazing game. I love the physicality that the defense showed. And I just want to sit here and say that I think Mike Zimmer pretty much saved McCarthy's job for this year. I mean, the way the defense is playing and keeping them in games, even when the offense is struggling at times, it's outstanding.
Mike Parsons may have saved his then. I mean,
Mike Parsons, vice versa. So, it's a Mike effect.
Yeah.
So, I was going to say, with this coming out, I'm not going to get into salary cap stuff. It's a lot of stuff. But I was just going to say, I would really like Jordan Lewis back. I think Jordan Lewis is probably one of the most important guys to have back out of that defense. I would probably have him over Osa, just because I've looked at 19 of these defensive tackles in this draft, and there's some quality guys there, and almost in the first 4 rounds you can get someone that can probably be similar to the same production. So. To me, Jordan Lewis is. I think he's probably the leader of that secondary, which I would really like to have him back.
Yeah.
Other than that, you guys have a good Christmas and a good New Year if I don't talk to you, and stay blessed.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, Randy. Jordan Lewis is probably number one on the list. I've heard that a few times. I don't disagree. Number one on the list of guys to re-sign just because. You can probably it would be affordable, but he brings more to the table, and I bet he gets that too. I mean, he could go and sign with someone else and sign with Seattle, and is he going to be viewed the same? Is he going to have the same type of impact that he does? It's hard to say, but he's a leader of this team, or one of the leaders. He is a leader. He's not afraid to say. What he thinks. I'm pretty sure if it hasn't happened already, I won't give that away. The media gives out awards for their guys that they cover. Good Guy Award, and I think his name was on the list of it. I'm not sure if they've announced that yet, or maybe they made a change. But he's just a guy that stands up in the locker room and he's not afraid to say good days and bad days. Say what he thinks, and I remember his message after one of the losses. It might have been the Baltimore loss or the New Orleans one, just about the details. He kept saying details, just how this team needs to focus and practice better. And so Jordan Lewis has just been a great player, great leader, but that interception is one of the best interceptions I've seen in a long time. Let's not forget he's getting hit in the face, running down the field, stride for stride, gets hit in the face, then goes and looks for the ball and then takes it away. Pretty awesome play. All right, let's go Josh in Chicago.
Hey, Nick. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. What's up, man?
Jordan Lewis, man, he looked like Houdini out there.
Yeah,
it was insane. I mean, I thought for sure that was a touchdown, and then all of a sudden he's got the ball. So it was just Houdini out there.
Yep.
So I was born in 1990. I got to say, Home Alone, that's the best Christmas movie.
Okay.
But I got to argue Chris's point here. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Why?
I'll give you 3 main points.
Okay.
He goes to an office Christmas party. That's the whole reason he's there. His wife's name is Holly, clearly a reference to Christmas. And they have Christmas songs on the soundtrack.
On the soundtrack of Die Hard?
There's 3 Christmas songs on the soundtrack of Die Hard.
All right. I'm in. You got me.
All right.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Josh.
There we go.
Yep. I've been trying to call in for the past week to say that. So.
All right. I was on the fence here. I mean, Bruce is the one that said it. He's the main actor of the whole movie. So I was like, all right, but
That's a fair point. He said it's a Bruce Willis movie, which I guess is also true.
All right. Well, he's got a different agenda by saying that, I guess. True. That's fair. But, and when I heard that last night, him saying, you got any Christmas songs? I was like, all right, well, it's not helping my point here. But I like those. Holly, that might be a stretch, but the other 2, I'm going for it. Like it.
Hey, and I just, I hope we beat the Eagles this week. Play some spoiler, play Grinch. I love it. So, otherwise, Merry Christmas to you guys. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate you guys. Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, all right, you too. Thank you so much, Josh in Chicago. All right, let's go to break here one more time on Cowboys Storyline, and we will be right back after this.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Check out the Cowboys Pro Shop for all the latest gear. You can go to DallasCowboys.com, a Fanatics experience. Log on to shop.dallascowboys.com. All right. Phone lines are open here, 888-855-2297. We got a few more minutes, maybe about 15 or so. I think we have one more caller that just called in. But, all right, Chris, we ready for that one? Let's go. Alan Merkel, Texas.
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I think the Cowboys season has been up and down, but I see the good in it. I think that's all we can do at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any grandeur of, being in the Super Bowl anytime soon. I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you in the NFL, I don't know if you have to be close. I mean, it seems like the way it's designed, everybody's close. You just get on a roll. And I was looking at the schedule for next year, and the schedule's not out obviously, but the opponents look pretty much set. I can talk about that when this call's over, but right. You kind of can tell who they're going to play next year, but
right.
It's hard to tell. Yeah.
The main thing I wanted to call in and say is Merry Christmas to you and Chris and everybody behind the scenes. I love this show, and the only thing I really would like is one day get my T-shirt.
You don't have your T-shirt. All right.
Nope.
Chris, do we have your address?
I hope so. I've sent it several times.
All right. We'll get it. We'll get it for you. Why don't you stay on?
If I never get it, you'll always owe it to me. So that's a good thing. But anyway, like I said, love your show. You're great, Nick, and so is Chris for getting us on. And best show on DallasCowboys.com. Like I said, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Al, stay on the line. Stay on the line. Don't hang up. Let Chris get all the information. We'll get this out to you. Okay, so make sure we have it right now. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick.
All right. Oh man, we got those Cowboys Storyline shirts. We're gonna have some new ones this year. So for the all Storyline team, I'm trying to think when I want to announce that after the season. Let it roll. I guess when we stop going to a daily, which that'll be sooner than later, then I'll start tallying everything up and looking to see who's made the team and what I'm going to do exactly this year. But man, I gotta get all the shirts out to last year's winners before we start talking about the next one for sure. So all right, I know a lot of people were talking about the Eagles and just beating them and it doesn't matter what and that's good because that's how they feel too. They feel the same way about the Cowboys. It's there's been times when that's happened too, where the Cowboys are the team playing for something. But now if Philly makes that catch, if Devontae Smith makes that catch over the middle, they win that game and they win the division. Now they'd still be playing for the number one seed in the NFC, which is big because you're only one team gets the bye. But so they'll be playing for something, and I think Washington plays the Giants. So they Philly's got to win. I mean, they're going to be bringing it with everything that they have here. We still got about 10 minutes to go. Phone lines are open, 888-855-2297. If you want to call and be the last caller here before Christmas.
I got something for you. I got someone for you real quick. So
okay.
I haven't typed it in yet. So Chris in San Angelo.
All right, Chris in San Angelo. What's up, man?
Mr. Nick, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. And I did hear yesterday, and I tried to get in that there was another caller from San Angelo, and I actually don't even know who he is. So there you go.
Oh, really?
It's a bigger town than you think, I guess. But what I was going to do is I'm going to point out there's one thing I don't think his name was mentioned in that last game, but Donovan Wilson seemed to bring it.
Oh man, he was flying around. Yeah.
I'm lining up at wide receiver now after watching that against. I'm wanting to know where number 6 is now.
Yeah.
So we've been missing that for a while. That was good to see again. And Christmas movie, let's go with Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
With a little bit of shout out, you do need to watch It's a Wonderful Life. If you still haven't seen it, you have to see it one time in your life. It is a really good movie.
All right. I probably should.
Buddy.
I should.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Hey,
all right.
And all the StoryLiner, my friends in the StoryLiner, they know who they are.
Yep, for sure.
Take care, buddy.
All right, thanks. I love that. It's one of my favorite things that's happened on this show is just what the show has done and kind of brought people together. And you guys do the Twitter Spaces in the community. The StoryLiners there, you guys going to be able to, you guys have met people you never knew across the world, really, and that's really awesome that this show has been able to do that, bring everybody together. I love it because it just reconnects me with the fan base, and I've got a chance to kind of get that perspective again. Sometimes it gets lost when you're inside the building and you're in the media and all that stuff. But when the interactions that I get with the fans, it's really pretty awesome to be able to do that. So tallying up some of the Christmas movies here, It's a Wonderful Life and The Grinch got the lead, but Christmas Vacation and Elf and Die Hard all making strong push there. Home Alone as well. For me, I've had 4 Christmases because I love Vince Vaughn. Anything Vince Vaughn does is hilarious. But Elf and Home Alone, I'm fine with those. Never was a big fan of Christmas Story. I don't really know why. I just didn't really like that. You'll shoot your eye out. I don't know. I just didn't like that movie that much. But Home Alone and Elf, those will probably be on, I'm sure, at the house. All right, let's go to Lester in Minnesota. Lester, what's up?
Hey, Nick, good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Good morning, Cowboy Nation. Merry Christmas to everybody.
What do you want for Christmas, man? What do you want?
What I want for Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, it would have to be next Christmas. I want a Cowboy Super Bowl appearance.
Okay. Well, I figured you would be asking for an offense and defensive line played well at the same time.
Well, yeah, that's what I want for next season. So next season, let me get that offensive and defensive line at the same time, and then we can get that Super Bowl right on in there. Because again, if you can't protect your quarterback, he's gonna be on his back, and if you can't stop the run, they're gonna run all over you on defense.
Yep.
So
sure.
I want those 2 things, my friend.
Yep.
My favorite Christmas movie, and I said it before, It's a Wonderful Life.
All right.
And go Cowboys.
Thanks.
That's all I got. Merry Christmas to all.
All right. Thanks, Lester. Appreciate that. I wanted to go back on the last caller. Chris in San Angelo talked about Donovan Wilson. And, I think what should be said is he's done a really nice job of playing just as aggressive as you can be. It is a hard position in the NFL to play safety because every single time you hit someone over the middle, we're all expecting a flag. It's just something that the refs do. It's like you just can't hit hard. And so to be able to play aggressive, fly around and hit the way he did and do it all legally, that's a huge thing for him. And he's had to grow into that and play. He plays kind of reckless at times. And that's what I was hoping Sam Williams would be able to do this year, is kind of take it to that next level, because we see those guys. We see Donovan Wilson. Randy Gregory was that way. Sam Williams, where, they get a lot of penalties because they just play so aggressive. But you got to figure out a way to kind of bottle that up, play as aggressive as you can play, and kind of be that enforcer without getting penalties. And I thought that was the key part to him the other night, is setting the tone and making big hits. Sometimes he jarred the ball loose, sometimes he didn't. But either way, even if the guy catches it for a first down, he doesn't forget the hit that he just took. So I just thought that's the thing that I see out of Donovan Wilson that's impressed me, is that he's learned how to play with that same aggressive nature, but do it in a way where, he's not getting penalties. All right, let's go to our next caller, Eric in North Carolina.
Hey, Nick. I just wanted to call and say how pleased I've been with the way the Cowboys have been playing, because I was complaining earlier in the year about them not playing with any passion, and they sure have been playing with passion and grit the last few games. And I have to say they surprised me, and they must really truly listen to McCarthy and the coaching staff after all, because they seem to want to play well for him. And, and of course, they don't want to put bad tape out, but he didn't lose the team like I was afraid he was going to do it. So I'm really encouraged. And y'all were just talking about Donovan Wilson and how well he's been playing, and he has, especially compared to early in the season. And I wanted to say the same thing about Terrence Steele. He's been playing well the last few games, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
And early in the season, he was just getting beat around the edge. I wonder if he and Wilson were maybe injured, and we weren't aware of it. And the last thing I'll say is, and I'll let you talk about anything you like, of course. But since it's Christmas time, the season of giving, I wanted to say that if the draft was tomorrow, with my top 3 picks, I would take corner, defensive tackle, 3 technique, and running back. And hope you and Chris and everybody have a terrific and great Merry Christmas. And we'll see y'all later. Thank you.
Appreciate that. I don't hate any of those. I think, though, it would probably be a smart move. I'm probably fine with the guard in the first round. I would be absolutely fine with whatever that is. If you're picking in the teens, it's not going to be the sexiest pick, but neither was Zach Martin. But until it was, So if you get a guy like that, some really, really surefire blocker that's going to come in here and be a staple for 10 years, I'd be absolutely okay with that, because I do think that helps your running game. That'll help Dak. That'll help everybody. And so I would be fine with that. But I'm fine if it's a defensive tackle, it's fine. If it's a corner, you need that too, for sure. Got decisions to make. Deron Bland's contract's coming up, and got to see what they're going to do with Diggs. I know he's coming off injury, so it's just all going to be a challenge there. All right, that is it for the calls. 14 calls today. Outstanding. You guys did a great job of getting in, getting out, saying Merry Christmas, doing all that stuff, talking about movies, talking about the game, talking about draft, talking about everything. Loved it. Loved this show today and all year long. It's been outstanding. I can't tell you enough just how fun this show is for me to be able to do this. I said it a few minutes ago, but it really is. It's my favorite part of the day, and I love doing that. So and you guys are just so knowledgeable. I mean, that's one thing, and I guess I knew that, but just just being challenged, whether it be trivia questions or just in points in general. You guys are so knowledgeable. It's fun to be able to share this hour with you every day, and so I'm going to miss that part when the season's over here. But we still got a couple more weeks to do that, and so we won't have a show tomorrow. Obviously, Merry Christmas to everyone out there, and hope everyone stays safe with the weather and all that. Music means it's time to wrap this thing up, but we got to keep it going. Cowboys break. We'll be here just in a few minutes, and we'll have shows going here all day long. So, for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. Merry Christmas to everyone. We will see you on Thursday on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?